Welcome to this streaming. As you all know, today we are going to create an account, an IRCC account, and we will also create. Okay, so we are going to create an IRCC account today, and we are also going to link an account to the link an application to the account that we are going to create. I know a lot of you work with agents, and as a result, you don't even bother to go through this process. I already have a video on my uh, YouTube channel that shows you how to create the account and everything. But I'm still going to actually do it now so that you'll be able to see it. If we have anyone live, you can let me know. And if you have any questions too, you can also let me know. As I said earlier, I was trying to see if I can get someone whose account we will use or someone who already have an application. By so doing, I would have just gotten the person's email and created an account, an IRCC account for the person. And then afterwards, I would have linked their existing application to this. But since I didn't really get anyone for that purpose, what I'm going to do now is I'll just show you how to create the account. And afterwards, I'll also take you the process of linking an application to the account. Since I don't have an existing application myself, I will just show you where to go, the details to fill in and everything. And then you can try it out yourself. That is why I wanted someone else, because that way I would have been able to link it live and then you'd have been able to see exactly how it is. But then still, I should be able to show you how to do it. That shouldn't be a problem. So to create an IRCC account, first of all, you go to canada.ca, or let's just start from Google, since a lot of you don't even know the Canada website. So I'm going to share my screen so people on YouTube will be able to see it. And let me type. Uh, let me just type the YouTube name on the TikTok so that people there can be able to follow through. Life experiences 2%. Yes. So if you are here with me on TikTok, I have typed the name of the YouTube channel. So you should be able to, yes, and I have pinned it. So you can just search the name on YouTube and you'll be able to follow us. So back on YouTube, I'm going to share my screen. So this is the official Canada website. That's canada.ca, as you can see here. But let's just assume you don't know the Canada website, so you have to start from scratch. New tab. So this is just a new tab. So or you can just go to Google and just search for IRCC login. So you go here, it'll take you straight here. You see a lot of options that you can see, and you can just go here. So this is the sign in page, but we do not have an account yet, so we cannot sign in. We can only create an account. Signing is for people who already have an account, then you can just sign in. But since we do not have a sign in an account yet, we have to register. So you come here, they give you options to sign in, but we are going to register instead. So register for an account. This is where we go. When you come here, they give you options. So we have two options. That's GC key. GC key is just Government of Canada key. When you come to Canada, this GC key can help you with a lot of accounts, whether you are registered CRA for your taxes or for your province or wherever. You always have the option. So far as it's a government website, you always have the option of using your GC key. So people like me prefer to use a GC key. That way, wherever you go, you already have an account and you don't have to be creating different accounts for every place that you go. The only thing with this too is since it's just one account, if someone hacks it, they'll be able to use it to get to a lot of your other places. But then that is why they also provide more security on this. So once you get to creating it, they will also make sure you use the two-factor authentication. So it is very, very secure. It is going to take a lot for someone to be able to hack it. And you also have the option two, that's Canadian Interact Signing Partner. So this is for like when you are working with, you have a bank account. So I have a bank account. So if I go here, they'll give me a lot of banks or institutions, and I can choose whichever I already have an account with. So as they say here, you may be able to sign in privately through your Canadian bank or credit union. Use your online banking ID and password. So if for someone like us who already live here in Canada and have bank accounts and the banking, online banking, and all that, we can just go here and register with that instead and not have to create another account. But as I said, we are coming to create a new account. And for people who are not here yet, who are now coming to create an account and then apply for a visa, they definitely don't have a bank here in Canada. So you have to go to a GC key. So you register with a GC key and then you go to sign up. Because I already have an account here, they always bring me here. So sign up. And then this is the whole process they are going to take you through. So I choose terms and conditions of use. One of our problems is we don't like to go through terms and conditions, even though it's important. So I am also guilty, guilty of the same thing. So no worries. Instead of reading through it, we don't have time for it. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who does that. So I accept. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's going to be good. So I accept. Now, username. They have conditions. Let me say, make your username easy for you to remember and hard for others to guess. And you have to avoid using personal information such as your name, send, mailing address, or email address. So you can use any username that you want. If it's not available, they will let you know. That's if someone has already chosen it, they will let you know. So in this case, let me say the elder. Let me see. That's going to be applicable. Um, elder may contain text. 1, 2, 3. Yep. So continue. Okay. So now they said my uh, username is not available. So let me try adding a number to it. Say 2024. Continue. Okay, that worked. So since that worked, we are now going to create a password. And this is the password checklist. You have to make sure you are following this. So it needs to be between 8 to 16 characters and does not contain 3 consecutive characters from your username. Let me write the username down just so I do not forget by the time I'm done. So the username was the Elder 2024. Okay. Now, what password should we be using? They already suggested one for us, but I'm not using this. Yes, as you can see, it's very, very complicated. So choose your own. I don't plan on using this. So I'm not very good at choosing passwords. Okay, Ghana, my 1957. Okay, and here, Ghana. Okay, so I have all of this here ticked, but let me write my password down before I forget. Okay, I have it down. So now you go to continue. They're asking me to save. I am not going to save it. So on with the GC key, they always ask you to choose your questions. These are recovery questions. So in case you forget your account password and you want to reset it, and not just that, even when you are just logging in, they will always ask you one of these questions. Anytime you try to log into your account, they are going to ask you one of these questions. And you must be able to answer it before they allow you to log in. That is one of the security features of using the GC. So with this, even if someone gets your password, they'll still have to be able to know the answer to any of these before they will be able to get in. So you have to come here ready with 5 questions. Select a recovery question. So one here is I think previously they had an option for you to type your own questions. That's customize your question, but looks like we do not have that one now. But let's just do the same. What was my first person name? Okay, let me just say my first pet's name uh, was Nyame, or let's say Odo. Odo. Um, and this is my memorable person. Hmm, memorable person. Let's say Kofi. Memorable person hint. This is just a hint to help you remember that. So that is, let's say, he is my friend, or let's say best friend. So, so that it can be a good hint for you. My memorable date. So you write a date. So let me say, 2019. You're following this format. Y. That's for the year. And then the month, and then the day. So that is the format you are following. If you write any other thing, it will be wrong and won't work. So you have to follow this exact format. So that's here. That's the format you have to follow. So I come here, uh, 2019, The month was November 17th. This is actually my wedding date. So yeah. So memorable date hint is wedding date. So that I'll always remember that. And just before I continue, I'm going to take a picture of this so I can save it. That is why what I'm also recommending for you. Whenever you have to set recovery questions, it's better for you to take a picture or something just so you will always be able to refer to them. Don't just move on because there is a high chance, like 1 year or a few more years ahead of time, you come here and you forget your password. And then they'll ask you a recovery question and you have no idea what the answer is. Let's say, like the one I use, my best friend. In 2, 3 years' time, maybe the person won't be your best friend anymore. You come here and you see the hint is best friend. Who is my best friend? And you forget. So I always make it a point that whenever I set recovery questions, I take a picture of it, or at least I snap the screen of my phone or the laptop that I'm using, and so I can always refer back to it. So this time I took a picture with my phone, so I continue. Now, account optional account recovery. They give you an option of also recovering your account through an email. As I said, it's optional, so you can continue without using an email. But I recommend you use an email. Why? Because if you use an email, then when you click forgotten password and you want to recover it, they will always have an email to send everything to. Then you'll be able to actually reset your account and change your password. If not, there is a high chance you can lose it later. So I always prefer to add an email to it. So this is one of my emails that I'm going to use for this. So mm, live um, at gmail.com. Um, so please select continue to proceed or click cancel. So now I'm done. I've already confirmed my email here. And yeah, so continue. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. So I've already used this email for a previous account, and as a result, I don't even remember. Okay. So EDC account must have a unique email address associated by confirming this email address with the password to be removed from the other GCD. No, I don't want it to be removed. So let me just use another email. Let me see. I have several emails, so I should be able to use one of them. Mm, okay, I'm going to use this one. How about this? Some okay, here they said is valid. Match the confirmed email address must be unique. I don't think I've used this one for 1 year, but they still say, okay, let me just continue. Okay, good. So now this one worked. And please select continue to verify your email address. So continue. So they are going to send an email to the email I just entered, and it will have a code. As they said, we have sent a confirmation code to the email I used. So enter the code below to confirm your email address. The code will expire in 12 hours. So then you go back to your email and you get the code from there. So I have it here, and the code is okay. So continue. You have successfully added the email recovery option. Good. So now I have successfully added the email recovery option. Select continue. Okay. So now, as I told you ahead of time, GC key now requires you to set up a two-factor authentication process. This way, even before someone can log into your account, they will need to verify through another means, not just by entering your password. And this helps so that hackers or people who hack your account will not be able to just come in and do whatever they want. So if the recommended one is by using your phone, and with this option, use your smartphone or tablet. That's the recommended option. You have to download an authenticator app from your Play Store, and then they will take you through the process. So let's say I come here, set up your mobile. I accept. You have to first of all install the app, and once to install, you can click here, and they will take you to a website, and you can download it. They have a Google Authenticator. I already have it. That's what I use. But this is not the way I'm going with. So if you already have an authenticator app too, you can just add it by just going to continue here, and you'll be able to open the app, and you'll be able to scan this QR code. Once you scan this QR code, they will join this GC key. They will add it to your authenticator app. But that is not what I'm going with. Oops. Um, okay. Because I hit cancel, they took me back, and I'll have to just log in again. I don't necessarily have to restart it, but I'll have to do it again, which is, I hate that. Okay, I'm just going to log in, sign in to. As you all know, I've already created the account, so I'm just going to sign in. So sign into an existing account. Yeah. Okay, GC. I created a GC key, so that is what I'm going to use. The Elder 2024, and the password. You see why I always write everything down as I go? Because there's a high chance before by the time you go and come back, you'd have forgotten. So it's better for you to just write everything down as you go. Okay. And okay, yeah, I got it. Mhm. Okay, so back to the authenticator stuff. So for me to, because I'm just trying this, and especially for people who keep uh, changing phones and all, it's better for you to use your email. That way, you come here and they'll always just send the code back to your email, and you just have to verify and you'll be able to get in. So I go to set up email here, and okay, here I think I can flip camera and people will be able to. Yes. So if you're on TikTok, you will at least be able to follow through. It just occurred to me that I can actually put it on live, flip the camera, and you'll be able to see it. Okay. So now that I've logged in, I've chosen to use the email option. So I come to accept and do ask for the email. And you enter the same email that you entered previously. Okay. So I enter my email and they've sent a code to that email. So all I have to do now is to just go there and retrieve that code from the email. I have not received the email yet, so I'm still waiting for it. Okay, I got it. So I enter it here. Okay, continue. And they are asking you to keep these codes safe just in the future in case you have to, as I said, retrieve this. So I've taken a picture of this and I'll click yes. I have securely recorded and stored these codes. Continue. So setup complete. I have now been able to set up my two-factor authentication. Now I continue. This is one thing you have to know. You have 5 active recovery codes remaining. So in case you miss your recovery codes, they are going to give you 5 more options for you to go through it. And on the previous page, the codes they gave you was 5 in number. So those will be the ones you will be using to recover. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. So if you use one, that option is gone. So that's if you forget. It's not going to be something you're always going to do. They'll just send a code to your email and you just use it. But in case you forget or you don't even remember the email you used, then you get the option to use those codes that you just took. So I'm going to continue and I accept. Now trying to enter my account. Okay. So now they've taken me to where I can create my account, but I do not need to create an account now. So I'm just going to. Yes. So now I get to sign in again. I choose Visitor because for Visitor, you have the option to use either a GC key or an IRCC portal. So these days, IRCC have created 2 different accounts for each, for different stuffs, for different purposes. So for express entry to, you only have the option to use a GC key. For a study permit, you have the option to use either of them. So yeah, if you have a GC key, you can use it to enter everywhere, every other account. But the portal, which is a little bit different, doesn't allow you to create all types of visas. That is why I always go with a GC key. That way, if you have to go with any sort of um, account, you'll be able to still get in anyways. So I accept. Okay, they've still brought me here. So okay, yeah, I get it. So now that I'm in, I still have to enter my name and all other details, as have not done so previously. So now I've just created an account, a login account, but you need to now enter your actual details. So I'm going to enter my details here. last name, the email address I used, preferred language. As you know, Canada is English or French, always English and French. So now you get in. So these details you are going to enter are the same details they will be using in case you have to apply for a visa later. Because when you are applying for certain types of visas, you are not allowed to apply for somebody else. So let's say I am applying for a visitor visa. You have to, the person whose name is going to be on the account is the person who is supposed to actually apply. So let's say when I was applying for a visa for my mom, for instance, what I did was, I think that is why when I was entering the email address, they told me the first one I used was attached to a different GC key. That was because I used my other email to create an account for my mom, and then I used that to apply for a visa for her. I had even forgotten about it because that isn't my main email address. So that is why I forgot. So anytime you have to apply for a visa for someone, you have to create an account in the name of that person so that it doesn't happen to be that the account has a different name and the um, the application also have a different name. It must be the same person applying. The only times you are able to apply for someone is if you are sponsoring somebody. Like when I was sponsoring my wife, I applied for it myself in my own account. Or if you are applying for something and someone is your dependent, then all your dependents get to be under your same application. You don't need to create different accounts for all of them. So that's how it works. But if it's like just one visa, like a vista visa or a student permit, it is supposed to be in the name of the person who is applying for it. So now they are asking more security questions. So yes, this is the part that I remember. You have to ask your own questions, 4 questions, and have answers. And when you are logging in, these are the same questions they are going to be asking you, and you should be able to provide the answers for it. Okay. So um you can ask your own questions. The questions are customizable. In this case, they have not necessarily created the questions for you, just like in the first one. Here, you get to type your own questions. So you can type any question you want. So far as you know, this is a question you have an answer for. There's a question that even in my sleep, when someone asks me, I will be able to give them an answer. Because if you forget the answer here, what is going to happen is you will not be able to enter your own account. And that is a problem. And as I said, whenever you come to security or recovery questions, it is always a good idea that when you type in the questions, you also have to. Oh, wait. Okay. So for some reason, I got to a point and I might have forgotten to, okay, it created a new tab and I did not share this tab. Okay. I don't even know where that was, but um, so where I was the sign in page. So I'll log out. I'll log out. Okay, I'll create the questions and I'll log out and log back in because I think where I was, I had already created the account, so you may not have been able to follow. So sorry about that. So the questions here, let me just ask. Let me see. What is is your favorite food? Yep. So that's a question, and I need an answer for it. Everybody who knows me knows my favorite food is fufu. So no two ways about that. Um, Second question, you need 4 questions. What is the name of your mother? As I said, it's your own questions. You don't necessarily have to use the questions I am using. You can type any question that you want. So in my case, I am typing this. You can also use different set of questions. What is the name of your mother? Let me see. Linda. And third, what is the name of Rachel? And the fourth one is what is the name of Okay, so I have my four questions done. And as I said, take a picture just for future use. So I snap my picture, good, and make sure everything is legible and I can read it. I have a few people who sends me a friend request on Facebook almost every month. And you ask them what happened, and they'll tell you, "Oh, I forgot my password," and that is one of those things. If you don't want to be creating a new account every single time, this is what you have to do. Just take pictures or save your passwords all the time. This way, you won't have to be going through all of these things all the time. So now I am in my account, but as I said, it got to a point where when I was signing in, um, I didn't share the screen. It created a new tab for me, and as a result, the screen wasn't being shared. So I'm going to log out and log back in. So I've logged out. Okay, so if you want to log in, as I told you earlier, you can just go to canada.ca or ircc.canada.ca, or you can just Google IRCC login and they'll take you there. So I come here, English, because that's what I want. IRCC sign in here. Sign in to your existing account. We have just created an account. So we do have an existing account now. So that is what I'm going to do. You can choose anything here because we created a GC account. So a GC account allows us to apply for a visitor visa, an express entry, study permit, work permit, or any other sort of application. And as a result, I can click just on visitor visa and they'll give me the option to sign into my IRCC secure account. So this is it here. Because they took me there and I okay. So sign in here. So IRCC secure account. That's where we are now. And let me see if this time is sharing. Okay. So once you click on that, it opens a new tab for you. And that is where the problem was before. When it opened the new tab, I didn't realize that won't be shared. Sorry about it, guys. So now we've already created a GC key with a username and password. So you go in there and enter that. So the username we created was this. And the password. Okay. Sign in. What happened? Let me just be sure I'm entering the right password. Okay. Okay. Good. Continue. So one time passcode. So because I use my email as my two-factor authentication, they will send a code to my email and I have to retrieve it before I'll be able to log in. So this is the two-factor authentication I told you about earlier. So now you go to your email and you have a code that you have to enter here. It is case sensitive, so you have to make sure you are entering the capital letters, and if it's a small letter, you have to enter a small letter. It is very case sensitive, so you don't have to just mix it up. Usernames are not case sensitive, so you can just use whatever you want. But if it is a password or a code, they are always case sensitive. So you have to be mindful of the let me see. So you have to be mindful of the capitals and the small letters. So now we are here, so I go in. Sometimes this happens. I don't know if it's just with me or with everybody else. When you sign in, they take you back to the login page, and I don't know why they do that, but you have to go in. And when you sign in again, then they take you there. You see, I didn't even have to sign in, and then they'll take me through it. So when I was creating the account, they asked me to type my questions. And this is one of the questions I typed myself. What is the name of your mother? And I typed my own answer too. So yes, I do know the answer. So I enter it, continue, and that is it. So my account is created. So I now have a, an IRCC account. And with this account, I will be able to apply for any visa type of my choice, any Canadian visa type. So when an agent tells you they are creating an account for you or they are going to apply for a visa for you, this is all they do. It doesn't take long. This took like, okay, well, I've been done like more than 10 minutes ago, except I had to log out and then show you how to log in and all that. You can create this within 20 minutes. And this even took me long because I had to make sure I'm going into details so that you will be able to follow through and not go too fast. If I was creating it by myself, it would have been so easy because I already know what is expected of me. I just go in there, I type it, and I'm done. So now that we have an account, how do we link an already existing application to this account? And that is where you go here. This side comes in. I hope you are all seeing this.